name is Oliver Westmoreland. I am an ISC registered level 3 advisor, and I am a consultant with GSN Immigration. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you can continue to watch our extremely interesting videos about UK visa and immigration advice. Today's topic is the UK Ancestry Visa. Let me explain what it is and how it works. Only very special people can qualify for this visa, fairly special anyway. First of all, you must be a Commonwealth citizen. Secondly, you must have at least one grandparent born in the UK or islands. Thirdly, this is not so difficult, you have to be 17 or over. It's like that really. You have to say that you're willing to work in the UK, but I mean, you know, probably most people are, that's not really difficult. It's not so difficult to qualify for this visa if you have those things. This visa is granted for 5 years. It can only be applied for from outside the UK, but if the application is successful, it will be granted for 5 years. There is no English language requirement. Probably a lot of people speak good English anyway, but anyway, there's no English language requirement. And it provides a route to settlement. Now, I made it all sound very simple, but I'm sure that Mr. Shah has got a few pressing and complicated questions that he would like to ask.
Sure. You mentioned only Commonwealth citizens
Yes.
can apply.
Yes.
So if one...
Can I slightly enlarge on that?
Yes.
The definition of Commonwealth citizen is slightly complicated. It includes citizens of Zimbabwe who are not actually Commonwealth citizens, I think. Also, very interestingly, it includes certain types of British national.
Okay.
For example, the famous one at the moment is British national overseas, Hong Kongers. It includes, for example, they are actually Commonwealth citizens.
Okay. So if one was to apply and they're not a Commonwealth citizen, neither are they Zimbabwean national, will the visa be refused and will they get refund?
Well, those are two different questions. I would say that this is it's probably going to be rejected, the visa application, or it's going to be a void application, in which case it's going to be rejected doubly. Whether you'll get a refund, I have no idea, but it's going to be a rejected application or a void application because you haven't met a basic requirement. So it won't be refused, it'll be worse than refused. So if you have any friends thinking of this, let me tell you, it's not worth it unless you have the right nationality or the right status.
Okay. And can the applicant bring their spouse and children as their dependent?
If they have them, yes.
Okay. And is there any age limit about the children? Is it 18 or 21?
Well, it's the normal rule. Child must be a person under the age of 18.
Okay, brilliant. Would you please
It could be spouse, could be civil partner, which is same-sex relationship, or possibly unmarried partner, someone that they have been living with for at least 2 years in a relationship akin to marriage.
Wow. So this could potentially help people bring over their partners with whom they might not be married.
If they've lived with them for 2 years and they can prove it to a required legal standard.
Great. And I would imagine if they have children, they would also be able to apply as well.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And in regards to the children, would I be correct in assuming that children who come to the UK as the dependent on this visa, they will be able to attend school,
Yes.
the NHS, etc., just like the normal citizens?
Well, they will have paid an NHS health surcharge, so they will certainly be able to take advantage of the NHS. I think they will have to go to school by British law anyway, such state school.
Okay. And how long is this visa usually?
It's granted for 5 years.
Wow.
And of course, after 5 years, then you could very likely qualify for settlement. There are not many things that can go wrong.
This is a brilliant route.
Yes, it's a very good route if you qualify. If you don't, you don't. But if you do qualify, it's a very good route.
Fantastic. And assuming for some reason, if someone is not able to meet the requirements for settlement, for example, unable to pass life in the UK test,
yes.
will they be able to extend that
Yes.
visa?
You can extend it as many times as you want.
And every time get 5 years?
That's right, and every time you have to pay IHS surcharge for 5 years, some people find rather upsetting.
True, it's a lot of money, because at the moment,
Yeah.
at the time of recording this, it's £624,
Yes, that's right.
and it's going up to 1,035.
Yes. So the IHS fee for these people is going to dwarf the visa application fee.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay. On this visa, can people also bring their adult dependents from the start?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay.
I have to be honest with you sometimes.
Sure. And is there any limit about the activity of the applicant? For example, some visas do not allow people to work as a sports person or a doctor.
Well, though I think most visas don't allow that. You can't work as a sports person, a couple of other categories, but every other job you can do, any type of employment, any type of self-employment, and running a business.
Brilliant. So they can be self-employed as well, or a director of a company.
Yes.
Brilliant. And in regards to making this application, this is only entry clearance application
Yes.
route?
It's
So
only entry clearance.
Only entry clearance.
You can't apply in country. You can apply for your extension in country, of course, but the initial application must be an entry clearance application.
Okay. So no switching possible within the UK from
I'm
any
afraid not,
category.
Mr. Shah. I tried my best with the Home Office. They said no.
Okay. Okay. And if someone has adverse immigration history, does the grounds for refusal, the general grounds for refusal, become applicable to this application?
Yes, I'm afraid it does. This is not a family application. They are fully applicable, I'm afraid. If the application is refused for any reason, then there's the right to administrative review, not appeal.
So potentially, if it's a refuse, it can just be challenged within the Home Office via admin review.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do, if it's going to be a very weak application, you shouldn't advise your client to apply anyway. If they've got a very bad overstaying history, for example, a competent and honest advisor will tell them that.
Sure. Assuming if someone doesn't have any big issues with the Home Office in the past, but only, for example, a visit visa application was refused, maybe Home Office thought they didn't have enough money to cover their trips cost, can that sort of refusal also impact negatively on this application?
The sort of refusal decision that you describe, I would say not. If there was some sort of serious issues about deception or dishonesty, perhaps it could. But the sort of refusal decision that you just described, then you didn't quite meet the rules, and that shouldn't impact negatively on it, no.
Okay. And this visa category, I imagine, can be applied from anywhere in the world as long as the applicant is meeting the requirements, including being from Commonwealth country.
Well, I mean, there are rules about this, aren't there? I think sometimes if you're a visitor in a country, you can't make a visa application, but it depends on the rules for that country's, the local rules in that country where you can apply from. Sometimes you can't. If you're in a country outside your country of nationality, you can't always apply. But I do know that some people have got working visas in countries outside the country of their nationality, and they can apply. So it would depend on the local rules that apply there. Thank you. There's one little thing I'd like to add. This is a little technical thing that could be important to some people. I said that you had to have at least one grandparent born in the UK. Now, the way that the rule is written, it says you have to have a grandparent. What it means is at least one grandparent. You can have 2 or 3 or 4, but at least one grandparent. When it says born in the UK, actually, it's not quite completely accurate. It's born in the UK or islands. So, in fact, if your grandparent was born in the UK, the Isle of Man or the Channel Islands, you could qualify.
Fantastic news. Thank you very much for elaborating on that. I don't think many people had clarity on that. I thank you for today's vlog, and we see you in the next one.
It's my pleasure. See you again soon.